Oh, it's almost 9. 8:59. Oh, we're at the outro. Oh, it's 9. Boom. Good morning, everybody. Welcome one and all to Wake and Base. I hope that y'all have had a wonderful holiday week, if that was your holiday, and if not, I hope the holidays to come are great, and if you're not into that, I hope you're just having a good day. But I'm glad to have you here. I'm happy to be here. I feel very rested and well relaxed, energized, ready for not only Wake and Base, but for what I think is going to be my very, very favorite year in many years, 2024, what I'm affectionately calling the Dub Quats. Yes, the Dub Quats. Looking back to the Souls of Mischief, 1994, talking about in the 9 Quats. Bone Thugs and Harmony also referenced the 9 Quats, 94. We're coming into 24, Dub Quats. That's my spiel. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. That's not what we're here to talk about today. What we're here to talk about today is this cat, Tatsuro Yamashita. Yamashita? I'm not exactly sure how to say it. I've heard people say it both ways. Weigh in the comments. Please, somebody save me. I need the help. But this is his first debut solo album. It was a little confusing here because when I was putting it on the Discord chat last night, getting ready to do this, I posted it as his second solo album, and I was very lovingly and quickly corrected that it was his first album. Thank you very much, Han. And it's got a really interesting story behind it, too. So I'm sure many of you are familiar with his previous bands, Mika, or Sadistic Mika Band, which was kind of a, not a one-man band, but it was a very one-man run kind of project. And we'll talk a little bit about that here getting into it. But this album was his first proper solo flight, for lack of a better word, into the solo realm. So we'll be looking at that. And before we do, we're going to check in with the old chat and say hey to everybody. Hey, Metropolitan Music Man, what's going on? Mike, I want to say congratulations to that good sir, because he released a wonderful tab for Tatsuro right on Christmas Day. And I do believe it was called Christmas Eve? Isn't that the name of the song, Christmas Eve? Anyway, I listened to about half of it. Sorry, I didn't listen to the whole thing. I was on the road. But it sounded fantastic, man. I love it. Go check it out. It's got a great tab for it. I'm going to go listen to the rest of it later. I realized after saying that out loud, that's such a jerk thing. I just know it's so good. I just knew that after the first half, I was like, oh, the second half's as good as the first half. But I'll listen to the rest of it. Yeah, late Merry Christmas to you too, brother. What's up, Anna? What is it? Is that a woo squirrel? Woo? I like it. I like it. Some Da Vinci level of numerology. Hey, man. I did my doctorate in musical cryptography. Dub Quats, baby. All right. So, search. Oh, one thing I do want to show off from two of my most wonderful fans, my parents. Check out what I got back here. I got a Jackie Chan throw pillow and a Junko Ohashi magical pillow. Where do you even find that? I got it. It's great. I love it. All right, let's go ahead and switch on over to the old research channel after I move this over. And there we go. Here we are. And this is who we're talking about today, Tatsuro Yamashita, however you say it right there. So we've got Circus Town, 1976, released December 25th, 1976. So what would that be? Some number. Almost 50 years? Shit, that's not right. Is it? Wow. Tatsuro's been slapping a long time, man. So good. So, as we're looking through here, one thing that might pop out to you underneath the top of Circus Town is we see New York side, and as we go to the B side, we see Los Angeles side. This is not just an artistic name to be like East Coast, West Coast. They actually recorded these on the East and West Coast with completely different musicians, and that was actually part of the concept of this album. So before we listen to it here, I want to jump over to the Wikipedia page for Tatsuro Yamashita, which is massive. Let me just go backwards here. So look at all this wonderful Japanese here. I'll get it translated. So this is the brief outline of Tatsuro's life here where it just goes through and talks about every single year of his life. Maybe we'll have time for that someday. But when I got all the way down here to looking at his albums, we've also got all the albums right here with their own Wikipedia pages, which is pretty amazing. There's a lot of love being shown Tatsuro's way here. Ooh, what's going on, Bobby? Good to see you, brother. The couch gets more elaborate every day. I know. That's what I'm trying to... Got to keep your eyes open, people. This is changing. There's a cat over there. You can't even see him, but he's over there. So, we take ourselves here to Circus Town. And I just want to read you a little bit of this commentary before we start here, just to give you a little bit of, I don't know, just a little bit of background on what's going on here in Tatsu's life and what we're about to listen to here. So, Tatsuro Yamashita, and this is all from Wikipedia, by the way. Sorry. No, I just want to make sure I give credit where credit is due, if it wasn't obvious that I was reading this. He originally began his professional career as a member of Sugar Babe, and after being active for less than 3 years, he began working as a solo singer in 1976. And this is now in his voice. It wasn't that I really wanted to go solo. It was the usual pattern of having no choice but to break up a band. I felt mentally damaged by the band's dissolution, and I felt frustrated that the 1960s was not accepted at all by the Japanese music scene at the time, and I was unsure of what to do. Everyone was at a loss to see if it was okay. Even if you decide to go solo, you won't be able to move forward unless you put yourself in an objective position and judge your own musical abilities. This was the reason, now, out of the first voice, this is the reason he decided to record a solo album. So I think earlier I said Sadistic Mika Band, which he may have been in, but I need to look that up. But Sugar Babe is that was the one I meant to say as far as the one right before all this went down. So, continuing, Sugar Babe was essentially Yamashita's one-man band, and he was almost a dictator when it came to creating the sound. But after all, he was a 22-year-old. Even though it was called producing or arranging, it was just a conceptual pretend word in a small world. That sentence makes no sense. Yamashita himself felt that there was a limit to what he could do, so for his first solo album, he was thinking of concentrating on songwriting and singing and leaving the production and arrangement to a third party. If you put your own sound, now this is in his voice, if you put your own sound in the middle of the American hit parade that you grew up listening to, what kind of thing would you create? If you specify everything from producers, arrangers, musicians, to studios and engineers and put your own songs and songs on top of them, how much difference will there be between your predictions and the reality? Therefore, the recording location absolutely had to be New York, and the producer and arranger had to be someone who had an equal understanding of the 1960s and 70s. So, based on this idea just right here, very interesting idea that I want to highlight that again ties back to something really important to me that we talked about a couple weeks ago. This idea of I've got my music, I have my ideas, I know what I want to do, but it's all in here. And he had already experienced the avenue of going, all right, you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. Wrong. Okay, hold on. Tweak that. Okay, hold on. Tweak that. Okay, hold on. Being, the real controller, megalomaniac of it. And now he's taking the approach of, well, I've got these songs, but I want this sound. Well, how do I get this East Coast or West Coast sound? Well, I find the musicians of that sound. And what I want to do, instead of micromanaging the crap out of them, I'm just going to tell them what I'm wanting for a song or a feel and very loosely give them freedom to execute. So where do we see this idea? Where have we talked about this idea before? Daft Punk, Random Access Memories. When Daft Punk released that album, their goal was, we want to make the band from the 70s that we think is the super band. They had, Paul, I think it's Paul Jones Jr. on drums. You've got Nile Rodgers on guitar. You've got, I'm blanking on the bass player, but he's a bass player that plays in these citypop albums. But anyway, they just gathered studio musicians and said, here's the chart, what you got? And it was amazing. And it had this really cool organic sound. And I think that's what we're about to jump in here to today with Circus Town, is getting some really cool organically made tracks from studio musicians from two different sides, two different coasts, essentially trying to do the same style of music, 1960s, or what was this, 1976? Yeah, so 1976, essentially both sides were pretty much doing some disco stuff, very much classic rock in the mix, but I think we've had 10 minutes of me talking. I think that's plenty. So I'm going to jump back in here with the chat, make sure everyone's doing well here, and then we're going to jump into some music. Oh, yeah. You see Han Solo. Han Solo, man, get yourself a GoPro and a goofy green screen and start streaming with me, man, because you know so much more than me. All you guys do. All y'all need to get some cams. We just need to do a meeting of the minds thing here. But good morning, Han. Good to see you, brother. Oh, yeah, we're having a good day. Yep, Sugar Bear. The Sugar Bear. I love it. Round and round in Circus Town. Layla, morning. Good to see you. Okay, go count down the minutes. You got to go to work. Poor homie, you working too hard, son. You working too hard. But I know you're doing it for us, and I love you for it. Okay, now before we start in here, could not find this on YouTube. Could find specific individual tracks that were being ripped from albums. So if I get kicked off mid live stream, you know why. Sorry, YouTube. However, I think I have a workaround. While I did find this on SoundCloud, which is cool, I don't know the rules of streaming SoundCloud, so I'm going to go exit to there. I found this all on the Internet Archive in FLAC form. Flawless Loss Audio Quality is what I think it stands for. I'm not exactly sure. All I know is the files are massive, but we got them all right here. So since this is the Internet Archive based on free access to information, we going to roll the dice today, y'all. And we're going to see what happens. So this is our first track, titled Circus Town. I haven't heard the whole album, but I know this song. That flute makes me laugh every single time. Tornado of strings. Oh yeah, there's his voice. There's our boy. Oh, so tasty. Oh, listen to his voice. So good. Woo! Those strings. Ah, yeah. I have to say, I'm a little upset to see there's some congas, and it's not Nobu. What is that actor's name? All I'm saying is don't mess with the bongo player. Oh, he looks okay. He looks a little happier there. And not the oh, there's some bongos. He's playing congas right there. Let's check out Will Lee. See who our bass player is. Ooh, that sax hits. Jeff? No. Ooh. Lou Marini. I love how he has a still picture with his name underneath. Oh, listen to that bass breakdown, baby, with those drums. Ooh, and a little key change. Oh man, look at that stash. Ooh, a little blown out. Who are you, Alan Schwartzberg? Man, this is just such a... We're going to talk about this, but man, Tatsuro's sound. Like every part of his sound. So good. So good.
It's got
Man, those drums, baby. This guy right here. Gloria Gaynor. Okay. Let's see here. Who are you playing drums for, homie? Start in the 70s. Jay Mason. Ooh. Man, we're just starting off slapping. Trash Man. Whoa, did this cat play with Hendrix? No way. Dang. All right. Tatsuro Yamashita showing us how it is done. Coming off the first track, title track, Circus Town, off of the New York side. So, starting off with this New York side here, what are some interesting connections to this side? These musicians. CBS Recording Studios. More specifically, CBS Recording Studios for their live television shows. One of which being The Late Show with David Letterman. I'm trying to remember the name. I think it's The World's Most Dangerous Band. But I remember as a kid growing up with Paul Schaefer. Dude, bald head, sunglasses, shredding the keys. Super, super good. Now let me see. Which one of these cats was on? Oh, boom, right there. Will Lee. So Will Lee, this dude. That haircut. I mean, when you're that good at bass, you can do whatever you want. But look at this hair. There he is at the Late Show, yeah. Nice. We got a custom bass. That's so okay, homie. Homie, you're looking awesome. You got the earring, you're looking good. No, I'm being judgy and a jerk. This guy's amazing. I love him, and he can wear his hair however he wants to wear it because he is awesome. But yeah, and look at that, Grammy Award winning. There we go, Paul Schaefer and The World's Most Dangerous Band. Boom, I did remember the name. Cool. So that's just one of the accolades of Will there. Let's see who else is in the band. Okay, so Lou Marini, another character where I was like, I know this name and I know he slaps. Why do I know he slaps so hard? Saturday Night Live. He was the Saturday Night Live. Oh, great! Look at this, Saturday Night Live band orchestra from 75 to 83. There you go. So he did that, and then you can see. Look at all these other. Hey, look at that! The University of North Texas Neophonic Orchestra. I don't know what this is. However, I went to school there. Hey, look at that! That's a Horns Aplenty album. Ah, look at this cover. Look at that cover. Oh, Horns Aplenty, baby. Yeah, that's kind of fun. Discogs. Discogs is great. So that's two people. Let's just briefly go through here, see who else, if anybody pops up on one of these big bands here. Drums. Yeah, that's who I was looking up. I was like, played for Gloria Gaynor, Carol Douglas. I don't know who that is. No Kisses. Peter Gabriel, also from Kiss. James Brown, not from Kiss, but very, very good. Studio musician or studio guitarist Jeff Mironov. Is that right? Yeah. John Toropia. I feel like we've seen that name before. Keyboards, Pat. What'd you do, Pat? Where you from? Patrick Earl, Pat Ribello. Lyrics by Minako Yoshida. Didn't really mention this. Minako Yoshida, long time collaborator with Tatsuro. All the way back to Sugar Babe, all the way probably until today. They're still writing songs together. So they are super, super tight homies and musical collaborators. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So she wrote a lot of the lyrics for him. All right, so moving back through here, not seeing much else in far these connections. These strings sounded fantastico, I have to say. They sounded so nice. Gene Orloff, a name I feel like I should know, and I do not. But this guy looking real serious here. You can tell he's got that serious face on. Homie's got 700 credits all around the board. And, yeah, I really like this guy, Bill Byers. Don't know who that is. But enough of me. Let's go to track 2, one that we should know pretty well from the channel, because I did a tab for it about a month ago for homie Han Solo out there, who also, I think it was Han Solo Bobby, somebody out there already tabbed it for me, and I just did a very mild adjustment on it. So somebody jump in and take credit for it, Han or Bobby, whichever it was, I can't remember, but both of them are great people. So thank you to them. Oh yeah, that bass line, baby. Slaps you. And then those strings. And this is all the same cats, it looks like. Man, that's so cool. It's like they made a band just for this side. Look at that. 4 tracks. Oh yeah, they put vibraphone on everything? Good for them, including Dave Sam. Oh, there's that vibraphone. That's what that is. Oh, I always thought that was a synthesizer. Why are they trying to sell me rolling ladders up here? Let's check in with the chat. Oh yeah, baby, we got to build that think tank. What's up, John? JQ John. Ooh, damn, son. You got to go in at 5 a.m. on New Year's Day? Whew, what are you, Secret Service? You got to protect the president or something? What's up, Daz? What's up, Daz? FPV driving. Good to see you. Good to see you. Gonna pop a firework and hit the hay. Good man. You know, I've been talking about getting my own Discogs page for a long time to help put stuff in. One of these days. One of these days. Yeah, we'll have to write a song first, too, if I get my own article. Yeah. Oh, baby. Bobby was the master tabber of the song. Thank you, sir. Big Bobby. BB. I love it. Oh, don't say that, Han. You'll never know until you try, baby. Oh, whatever, Bobby. You tabbed it out. That's a cool drum part. Pop in one of my Alex 6501 rewinds for a second. I love this subtle little drum move where he does a open hi-hat, closes it to a snare hit. It just sounds a little off, but at the same time, it couldn't be more on. Let's jump back here a second. You can even see the break right here. That's sick. So if I've never said this before, what we're looking at right up above here, whoop, my finger doesn't go that high, but that track, we call that a wave form. And if you look at it, it shows the sound peaks when it gets louder, when it gets quieter. And you can see right there at that break, it just, boom, goes silent. Silence is one of the best tools you can use in music. Very underutilized. Oh yeah, Bobby, I'm not letting you get away from praise, baby. Bobby's the greatest. Man, Jake Concepcion, watch out, baby. George Young coming for you. Oh, look how happy that goober is. Oh yeah. Ooh, Santa Claus saxophone. I like it. Hey, another Saturday Night Live band musician from 91 to 96. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Now I saw somebody had a reference to Jimi Hendrix in here. Let's see if I can find that again. Yeah. Now, where's this cat? Here we go.
僕にも
He was not the drummer for the...
吹き抜ける悲しみを僕にも
Yeah, who's in the experience? Okay. I was gonna say, man, if this cat was in Jimi Hendrix Experience, I was gonna lose my stuff. No, he just played with Hendrix. When did Hendrix die? 76? What? I'm very confused. This has to be some kind of posthumous, like, sketches? I can't get wrapped up in this. This is another rabbit hole. But pretty cool that we got that. Somebody thought that our drummer here was funky enough, so to speak, to blend well with Jimi Hendrix. Pretty cool connection there. I like it. All right. I'm coming for Jake's lunch money. Oh, yeah. Bobby the GOAT. I love it. Okay, so jumping back in here to a little bit of the preamble I was talking about earlier with this Wikipedia page, the Japanese one, talking about Circus Town. Let's finish up this little oversight here, because there's another interesting point about the kind of gamble the record company had to take on this album. So, previously we talked about him wanting to try something different after the dissolution of, or the dissolving of Sugar Babe, his previous band, and he was wanting to do a solo thing, and as we talked about, he had this idea of, well, I want to do this with musicians who have their own sound and just give them my music and then have them infuse their sound and style into what I am bringing to the table. So, picking up there, based on this plan, we envisioned several arrangers and musicians and consulted with several record companies that had contacted us at the time to sign up as solo singers. Local coordination, such as studio negotiations, was difficult. And above all, Yamashita's order required a huge budget because the studio musicians were too high ranked, and it was judged that Yamashita's sales records at the time would not be profitable, so no record company would make the order. It's said that he also expressed disapproval. Among them, I don't know, that doesn't make sense. Among them, only one person raised his hand, Ryuzo Kosugi, who had just started his career as a production director at RVC. So Kosugi wanted to do a Japanese rock album at RVC, and after seeing Sugar Babe's breakup concert at Okikubo Loft, which he was introduced to by Kenichi Makimura, the representative of the management company Our House, another record company, he decided he wanted to sign Yamashita, and that's what he thought. Random sentence. At the time, a contract with CBS Sony had already been decided, but it seems that it had not been yet made official. So, because of that, Kosugi said to Yamashita, who came to RVC because he wanted to meet him in person, he goes, "I'd like you to do it." In response, Yamashita said, "I want to do a New York recording, so if you can help me arrange that, I'll do it." So Kosugi received a formal offer list from Yamashita and decided to share his experience of studying abroad in New York. Taking advantage of the situation, he went to the United States alone, and as a result of direct negotiations with several producers nominated by Yamashita, he received the okay from Charlie Calero, who was his first choice, and made the deal. However, due to budget constraints, it would be impossible to record the entire album in New York. So since they had and this is Tatsuro talking, since I have musician friends in Los Angeles, and I wanted to introduce people to them, and I would like to work with them, I asked if it would be possible to do half the album in LA. It was a coincidence that his friend was John Sider, a member of Spanky and Our Gang in the Turtles, and coincidentally, one of Yamashita's favorite musicians. He signed a contract with RVC and was ready to release his solo debut album. So, kind of always confusing when you're reading a translated text here, but interesting story of how he had this idea, nobody was buying because it's like, dude, you're asking to spend a ton of money to go overseas, record this album with top-tier musicians. I don't know if you're going to make your money back. No thanks. One cat said, yeah, let's do it, but even still was like, dude, we don't have the money to do everything you want. So did a last minute pivot, called an audible, and said, well, I got some homies in LA. Let's see what they're doing. Pretty cool story there. Pretty cool. I also like this little section here that just says, the following catchphrase is written on the album. New York, LA. The best sound was here. Solo debut album. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let's go into track 3. Mini. Let's see what's going on here. I don't know if I've heard this one before. We're falling. Every time I hear a flute do that. Ooh, sensitive chord. Mickey? Ooh, this is just sensitive. What's up, Manny? Welcome. I'm glad you can make it to one of the streams. What? This is what I'm talking about. Dubquat's already coming out hard. My man Manny's telling me he's gonna go see Masayoshi Takanaka next year. Dubquat's coming up all Manny. I love it, brother. Enjoy it. Enjoy the show. Take pictures. Take video. Bring them here. Bring them here. Well, let's look at this mixer. Joe Jorgensen. Not Wayne Andre. Ooh, that guy's serious. Serious work. Ooh, Danish. Oh, this guy mixed Sesame Street. That's cool. Oh, wait. Did he work on the Pointer Sisters song? Oh. I was like, man. We'll talk about the Sesame Street song later. It slaps so hard. Let's see what we got. Oh, what guy here? Dude, oh my god, he is gonna see Nobu Saito, isn't he? How expensive are tickets? Ooh. Let's look. I'm curious. Okay. What is this, like Japanese StubHub? Flying there is expensive. But if I get to see some Nobu, baby. One ticket. 4:30 p.m. 5 tickets remaining. Oh, dang. That's a good deal. $92. Wait, are these stage tickets? Cool. I promise you, I'm listening to this song. It's really cool. 9,000 yen. The tickets are not bad. It's getting there. You're right. Hey, let's crowdfund a ticket for me. Then I'll live stream it for you guys. Only it'll cost you $4,000. It's a crime. It's a crime that I spoke through that beautiful, beautiful song there. Mini. Again. Oh, no, not again. I was about to say again lyrics written by Minako Yoshida, but no. Both Windy Lady and Mini Lyrics by Tatsuro. Very good, very good. Excellent, excellent. I love his voice, man. It's such a beautiful, he has a beautiful voice. He uses it really, really well. You know, he never strains. He never tries to copy anybody else or try to overpower or project. It's just him, you know? And you hear the emotion in his voice when he pushes something or pulls back. It's really to serve the lyrics or the emotion of the moment. Man, it's just so good. And he's just got such a good arranging ear of where these notes should go. So with arranging, the best way that I can explain it as far as the genius of it, think of a piano. Let me see if I can do this here. Keyboard. Online. Virtual keyboard. Oh man, yeah. Look at this. No, I'm not going to support you. I'm sorry. So, here we go. We got a keyboard, right? If it works. Wow. With tons of reverb here. Can I get the sustain off? There we go. Cool. So, if we're going to do a C major chord, C, E, G. And then let's say we want to add a seventh, B flat. Well, you could do this. Or you could do this. Rearrange the notes. What are you starting on? The third? Or are you starting on the root? Or are you putting the root down here? Even though we're using those same four notes, where they appear on the board makes all the difference. And then you can start doing crazy things. Start moving them closer, further away, adding extra notes, stuff like that. Then what makes it more complicated? What instrument is playing it? Things like that. So Tatsuro is just a master of that stuff. Really, 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 really good. And the backing, the support he has with all these musicians, like we mentioned earlier, this idea of taking your music and handing it over to somebody else to add their input and to, you know, really fuse together. It's a big leap of faith to hand over something, your creative material, and let somebody else contribute in a heavy way. But that kind of collaboration, that is what really fosters excellence, because it is now unifying two not opposed points of view, but very different points of view of people who were thinking in different directions, who now come together to make something that's relatively nuanced and unique. And man, this has just got that combination of what I'm going to call classical sound. What do I mean? For 60s and 70s studio musician, guitar, drums, saxophone, or really just the brass and the strings, that is really coming out of the jazz tradition, really tight, really just crystal clear. It sounds so good. But now we're adding in that kind of rock, not quite funk, but more rock and roll drums, bass, and guitar. But it's also, you know, it's hard. It's a little bit like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I use the Red Hot Chili Peppers as an example for this. Well, what do the Red Hot Chili Peppers sound like? Well, they sound like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. You know, who sounds like Anthony Kiedis? Who sounds like Flea? Who sounds like Chad? Who sounds like John Frusciante? Who sounds like the four of them put together? And then you look at their career with those four, and, you know, even with Hillel early on, you've got a punk era, you've got a funk era, you've got a Dave Navarro era, and then you've got this Chili Peppers era, where all of a sudden one day, By the Way, or maybe it was Californication, or maybe it was even, you know, what was it called? Blood Sugar Sex Magic. Somewhere in that area, they just became the Chili Peppers, and they fused all of their sounds together, and they weren't trying to sound like anybody else. They just sounded like themselves. That's what Tatsuro is here. It's hard to put specific genres on what he's doing because it is so unique, and it is, you know, so much of his voice. Whew, enough talking from me. Let's get more Tatsu. Ein ni. Do they mean eternally? We're going to guess that's what that means. Let's listen. I'm going to catch up with the chat too. Ooh, how's Texas still treating you? I wish it was treating me well. I'm actually in Missouri now.
in a secret underground bunker. Bionic bassist.
But from what I hear from my homies, it's going pretty good. Not too cold. Definitely not too hot.
帰らぬ
I hope wherever you are, Manny, you're doing good.
木の彼方
Oh, hey, I forgot. That's where Han is, my man. Still hot in the afternoons? That's good to hear. Good to hear.
街に似てる
Man, Will Lee is really just... He's earning his paycheck for this one, man. Look at this guy's credits.
あの日々
Funk yourself.
あなたと巡り合うた
So many albums.
波打つときめきは
One of these days, I'll have to get my own band put together. Do a whole city pop cover. All I really need is a drummer. I bet I could find a guitarist pretty easy. Yeah. Lemon. Very cool. Oh yeah, that's a nice sensitive little walk down there. I like that. Ooh, those strings, baby, they sound good. Ooh, they sound good. So sensitive, I love it.
風のように
Man. Tatsuro, 23 years old when he wrote this, all this. 23. Wow. Now that's a little beat. We're going to pause for a second there, because that was absolutely Beatles right there. That was The Fool on the Hill. Da 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 dum, bum 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 bum. The man with 1,000 faces sitting perfectly still, but it all da da da, and then it goes on. But anyway, he's got that exact same melody. That's it. Not here. Anyway, not saying he stole it, but that's such an unusual melody and harmonic movement, and he's so influenced by the Beatles. He loves the Beatles. There it is again. That's that same very strange melody. Manny, who is my most played artist on Spotify? Oof. I'll tell you, man, I don't use Spotify because I'm just a little turd, and I use YouTube. And if I really want to listen to something super high quality, FLAC, I have ways of getting it. I just fell out of Spotify a long time ago when it started to charge. This is like a decade ago, and then it got amazing, and I just never got back on. But I really should, because it's gotten so much better now. It really is great. Yeah, you're not a turd. You're being really nice. The reason I say I was being joking on myself, calling myself a turd, is because YouTube has been known for years to compress its audio. It can really trash your audio on there. I think they're getting They're getting better about it. where they're not compressing it as much, and now they give you an option in YouTube music mode to have a deeper bit rate, so it sounds better. They're working on it, but I acknowledge, like, if you listen to YouTube and then go to Spotify or anywhere else like this and listen to it through good speakers, it's a massive difference. Yeah. Tatsuro knows how to end a song, baby, let me tell you. Ends it with that nice high string. Harpist comes in out of nowhere. Did they give that harp? They give that harp some love? No, they lump them in with the strings. That must have been Emmanuel Green. Are you a harp player? No, rock violinist. Played with Roberta Flack. That's pretty cool. Recently found out my dad helped set up a concert way back in the day for Roberta Flack. It's because my dad's cool. He's super cool. He's also the one that got me these sweet pillows. And my mom. Okay, there we go. Side A. So that is the New York side of Circus Town, 1976. Released December 25th. Tatsuro Yamashita, however you say it. 23 years old when he dropped this album. Fantastic. So just in those first 4 songs, we get a little bit of everything of Tatsuro to come. Just a little taste. So our first track there, Circus Town, we get that personality, a little bit of that goofiness, tongue-in-cheek, self-aware. Throws that theme in there, but very much having fun. Then we get to Windy Lady, and this is like, oh no, this boy came to funk. This boy came to play. This is a song that will, somewhere when this song came out, Koki Ito in Japan was like, I'm needed. I have to prepare. Because then once Koki's in, boom, it is over. The funk is brought. Minnie, beautiful song. Very, very nice. I really like the one. This is my kind of Tatsuro ballad. Eternally, beautiful. Cannot argue that it's not a fantastic song. Super well constructed. But it's not my style. It's just, I'm not a big smooth ballad kind of guy. But when it's done right, I appreciate it. And this is absolutely done right. So just to finish up a little bit on this side, I just want to hit some a couple more interesting topics here, talking about this New York side of things. So when he went to go do this recording, he did New York for 2 weeks and then LA for 1 week. Super fast getting this album. It was his first time going overseas, and he said he had a little bit of shell shock from going to a new place. He said when he started the New York session, he was so nervous he could barely speak. Charlie Calero can't be called friendly, and the musicians were all quirky. It was only with the encouragement of drummer Alan Schwartzberg and engineer Joe Jorgensen that they were saved. Very cool. Thanks. Good job, you two, for supporting him. For Yamashita, who was 23 at the time, the interpersonal relationships at the New York studio were a huge culture shock, including unpleasant aspects such as money talk and racial discrimination. Sad, New York. He was relieved that it was almost exactly the same as he had imagined. Oh, no! I'll be getting ready to go to America. All right, be prepared for racial insensitivity. Yep, that's what I got. Damn it. We got to be better, America. Above all, it was proof that his aesthetic sense was fundamentally correct, and it served as a great encouragement for his subsequent musical activities. During the tea break, Calero was asked who his favorite musicians were, and then he casually mentioned the names of Hal Blaine, Buddy Saltzman. He simply said, they were certainly top-notch in 1967. It was, he was told. These words resulted in a decisive change in the musical direction of Yamashita, who had been a pop fanatic until then. Yamashita later said that by working with Calero, he wouldn't have looked at anything new and probably wouldn't have been around 10 years ago. So that's him talking about, I skipped the line, of the era he was able to experience the universality, that's a hard word to say, of rock and roll that pervades all eras, saying, if I hadn't experienced that, I wouldn't have looked at anything new and probably wouldn't have been around for the next 10 years. So I guess he was just making a comment of how if I hadn't changed, had this experience to broaden my horizons, what I was talking about earlier, I wouldn't have kept doing it. Very, very cool. The important thing was that I thought that even if you like doo-wop, you can still rap. And that's what it's like. Funny quote coming from him, because I don't think he ever rapped Toshiki Katamatsu. But I get the point because, again, talking about the Beatles, going even a little further back, doo-wop. He loves doo-wop. Think of Right on Time, the ending of that song, that all those chorus. My voice is so beautiful. All those layered choruses. So this was very influential. Was this 2 weeks or one? Okay, so 2 weeks in New York. So just to review these 4 songs: Circus Town, a song that reproduces a 16th note beat song that was often played in New York. Yep, saxophone, yeah, bam, boom, beam, bam, ba-deem. Passage played on the piccolo at the beginning is said to be a quotation from Turkey in the Straw, but it's actually Entrance of the Gladiator. Yeah, Turkey in the Straw is... Turkey in the ba-dam, 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 ba-dam. Yeah, I'm from the Midwest. I know my folk songs. All right. I love you, Aunt Susan, if you're out there. I'm thinking of you right now. I'm thinking about folk songs. All right. Lyrics and music. Windy Lady, Tatsuro. So this song originally was written for Sugar Babe, but they had no chance to record it, so he threw it into this album. It was created in memory of Chicago, their nickname, the Windy City, and because he loved Chicago's rhythm and blues. Very, very cool. So Charlie Calero, a guy I mentioned before, who had listened to all the demo tapes that Yamashita had brought to him, told him, "Your songs smell more like Chicago than New York." He was surprised, but at the same time, he realized that was about right, and how he worded his compositions. He said it made him feel happy. And the saxophone player, George Young, jazz musician, that was just saying that's who wrote the jazz music. Some of these sentences, they set you up like you're going to read a sentence, and then it's just a stream of consciousness fragment. Okay, Minnie. So when Yamashita was in his early 20s, he was obsessed with chord progressions of jazz and bossa nova and couldn't help but try them all out. This has an East Coast ballad, uses fractional chords, brass section, Forever, a self-cover of the song written for Minako Yoshida's album Flapper. The piece is said to be very reminiscent of Barry Mann. Don't know who that is. With its fractional chords repeating dizzying modulations. I don't know if I was dizzy, but I definitely liked it. All right. Now I know we're already getting late in the day here, but we'll just keep rolling. We're just going to keep rolling through here. Los Angeles. Ooh, we've got some questions here. Let's see here. Not quite a few. Hey, peace out, Han Solo. It's good to see you. Thank you for joining us. We'll catch you later, my man. How about some slapping of the bass? I'll tell you. Maybe we'll do some slapping of the bass here. After the live stream this morning, I'm going to go ahead and do a second stream where I get a tab up, and I'll show you guys the whole process of how I record my videos, and you can watch me lose my mind in real time. It's very fun. Okay, so Los Angeles sides. After the sessions in New York, moved to LA for a week and found that everything was different. Musicians were friendly, but the equipment was old-fashioned. As soon as the sessions in Los Angeles began, a situation arose in which the members, brought in by John Sider, were unable to produce the sound that Yamashita wanted. In particular, the bassist and guitarist were completely useless. Oh, shit. And after the first day, Yamashita felt completely depressed and even considered quitting and going home because there's no point in continuing. Whoa. However, on the way back to the hotel, Sider said, "We're going to ask Kenny Altman and Jerry Yester to sing the chorus." When Yamashita heard this, he said, "Wait a minute. If Altman's in L.A., we'll ask him to sing the chorus." What? That's what he just said. He asked me to play the bass. He took over the bass, and keyboardist John Hobbs brought in his bandmate Billy Walker to play the guitar. Despite walking a tightrope, we managed to record the rhythm in the remaining 2 days. He was able to finish it. Damn, so he was there 1 week, 5 days. Other guys were being, in his mind, turds, not getting it done. So he had to pull people in to save it in the last 2 days. Let's hear what that sounds like. Last Step. Oh, these are all shorter songs too. That's funny. First track on the LA side. Markedly different. I wonder if this is why Tatsuro only does his own doo-wops for the rest of his career, where he layers his voices, because he had such a bad experience. Yeah, this is cool. can immediately tell the production is way different though. It's not as polished, not as round. It's more bright, sharp. Yeah, listen to that reverb. Ooh, that was cool though. Yeah. Now we're sounding a little bit more like the band Chicago. Or maybe like some Doobie Brothers. Oh, another person covered the song. Very cool. This is another one written by Minako Yoshida. Very good. Take a look at her here for a second. That was a cool rhythm. I got totally kicked off by that. Hey, here's that album where one of the songs was originally written for her. Hey, Last Step, here it is. Very cool, there it is. Minako Yoshida. Flapper. Yeah. Interesting guitar here. It's a way different sound. Way different from the first side. What is that? Okay. What the heck is that rhythm? I have to figure that out. Okay. 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Okay. So it's metrically staying the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, but they're coming in on these offbeats, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba ba da dee da ba ba da ba da ba, where they're kicking off for almost 2 measures. 1, 2, 3. And then we're back in. Cool writing. Again, the arranging for Tatsuro. Excellent, excellent. So, again, also written for Flapper. Motown-like sound. Yeah. I can almost hear in my head Minako's version, because this seems, like a Motown doo-wop, and hers is going to be way more city poppy. I like how this Internet Archive also has Windy Lady in Circus Town as a karaoke version. I appreciate that. Okay, so very different sound here on the LA side. And for those of y'all just joining us, the story talking about how he thought everybody was very friendly in LA, but the bass player and the guitarist just sucked in his opinion, and they had to pull in people at the 11th hour for the last 2 days to re-record everything. So, even more impressive. The side 1 was done in 2 weeks in New York. Side 2 was 1 week in LA. Really sounds like a crunch of maybe 2 or 3 days. So, very, very impressive that they got that all done. Now, in the interest of time, let's just keep rolling on through and listen to our next song, City Way. Let's see. Yeah, we're just like solidly into that Chicago sound now. Oh! I'll take it back. That was some funk. A little funkiness. Can't stop grooving, baby. But I am out of coffee, so I'm gonna have to switch to my LaCroix.
しい笑顔温かい街麗しす
Yeah. Cool changes. Boom. I'm using up all my Alex 635 on one stops. This is what I was talking about with his voice, where he's got a beautiful voice, and when he does some extra inflection, it really serves the emotion of what he's doing. Because I don't know Japanese, I don't know what he's talking about, but I can tell he's like, this is what I'm talking about right here. Yeah. Woo. You see that big spike right there? That big spike is him going, ooh. Yeah. I love it. Yeah, I agree, Bobby. So, looking at what Tatsu's got coming up, his next album, Spacey. This song is much more in the vein of what's going to be happening with Spacey. Now, let's look at Spacey real quick. Because I think by the time we get here, we got Koki Ito, baby. Oh, yeah. Where's he at? Where's my boy? Oh no, this is when they still had Hosono. But this is where we get Murakami, so he was our Takanaka drummer. I think Jun Saito should join us pretty darn soon. Ooh, let's listen to that. Let's listen to this little bass solo here. Let's give this guy a chance. That was a nice little fill. I'm kind of feeling like we're moving into King Crimson now. We're getting a little prog rock. These drums just have a prog rock sound to me for some reason. Real tight, real crisp. What's this? This is Doobie Brothers, baby. That's a Doobie Brothers solo. Ooh! I like that, though. All right, Billy Walker. Yeah. Okay. This song won me over. City Way. I love that scratchy sound. Very cool. Yeah, this is cool, man. This is a dope song. Now we got the Doors. We got that, what's that, a Rhodes? Rhodes organ? Who's playing keyboard? John Hobbs. Ooh, that's good. Hey, he played for Kenny Rogers. Man, that's a long note. Get it, buddy. Get it. Very, very cool. I like that one. Last Step, it was cool. It was cool. I was getting used to the sound, but man, City Way was really pulling me in there. I was really, really digging that. Very cool. Very, very cool. Not a lot of extra stories now for the rest of the album here. I think we've hit all the main juicy nuggets. But this one we just listened to, City Way. This is a song, in his words, Tatsuro's words, I wrote in Japan and brought with me, and it turned out to be quite different from what I imagined, so I suddenly decided to make it locally. Trying to translate what that means, I'm guessing he's trying to say he brought that song along, not really sure if he was going to use it or how it was going to turn out, but in the process, it turned out in a very different way, and he thought, hey, this is pretty cool. Let's roll with it. Let's roll with it. I'm glad he did. I like him very much. All right, The City I Got Lost In. Next track. Let's see what we got here. It's sounding pretty ballady from the name to me. All right. Got that opening piano. This pianist really wanted to start every track, man. John Hobbs.
張り詰めた
Let's see what else John Hobbs did. Oak Tree Boys.
伺いながら愛を追い出
Whoa. He did Maria Takeuchi as well.
もできない
Got a little samba going on here? What's happening?
時はから回り乾いた部屋沈めながら愛を
Okay, this guy's doing some disco stuff. I can hear some disco, a little bit of disco in those drums. I'm looking for some
いつも
Doobie Brothers on this cat. Dukes of Hazzard.
渦巻く風吹
Leaf Garrett.
くしま声は
Ooh! He played on Olivia Newton-John Physical? That's cool. Hey, that was a long break. I like that.
街にぬくもり隠しながら愛を閉じ込め心に立ち止
This is just kind of a light-hearted song. I like it.
いつもこの季
Now,
節
sorry, Tatsuro. I'm going to turn him down a little bit. And I want to read you a little bit from this blog that I really like. I've talked about this a couple times before. It's a Canadian blog called Kyoku Plus. And the guy who writes these is named Jay Canuck. And it's been years since I read the last one, but I really like what he has to say about these albums. He usually does a really good, concise review. So, let's just read it real quick here. In his words, I've been a fan of Japanese popular music for 40 years and have managed to collect a lot of material during that time, so I wanted to talk about some Showa-era music with like-minded fans. Particular era being the 70s and 80s, thus the Kyoku. So, talking about Circus Town. As I was mentioning to fellow city pop aficionado Jerry a few weeks ago, Tatsuro Yamashita has such a wide and acclaimed discography of singles and albums spanning 5 decades that it's been awfully easy to get focused on one particular period of his music, and since it's so good. Totally agree. I'm stuck on Right on Time. For me, that has been the early 1980s with albums such as For You. Many consider that his greatest album. I've had to be nudged somewhat to get away from my obsession with Tat's body of work of the time, as wonderful as it is, and realize that he did make good music before and after that period. So Jerry told me about some of his favorite music by Yamashita from the 70s, and I did find a number of songs that have struck my fancy. Notably, there is the title track from his solo debut album, Circus Town. Circus Town is indeed a gorgeous song by Yamashita, and is also one of the first songs featuring the lovely partnership between him and lyricist-singer Minako Yoshida. Starting off whimsically with Julius Arnoft's Vlim Fructix, The Entry of the Gladiators, which is the familiar little ditty which folks can associate with the circus. As much as I try, I really cannot imagine Russell Crowe striding into this song. Against the background of such mellow urban funk and whirling windstorm strings, the first track to his December 1976 album is a pan to New York City, where Circus Town and the rest of the tracks on side A were recorded. Try to imagine Yamashita soaking up the sun as he strides up and down the streets of Manhattan while dreaming up the arrangement. So then he keeps talking about New York and a couple other things. But I like this right here. Circus Town might imply the noise of New York, but there's nothing visually gaudy or obnoxious hinted in Tats and Minako's love letter to the city. It's just about inviting folks to explore and enjoy an exciting metropolis that is quite different from the large city of Japan. I like that because it really acknowledges that he was going out there to try to make a collaboration and to try something new. And yeah, even if with that unfortunate realization that people were being kind of racist and shitty to him, which sucks, he still was like, nah, I'm gonna make this good. I'm gonna make it happen. And I know I was talking over that entire outro there, but my goodness, somebody was slapping those keys like they were angry at him. Who, man, John Hobbs. Let's just go back and just listen to a little bit of the face melting fire down here. Check this out. That's a cool way to end. That's a cool way to get out of a solo. That's just like flames and fires, just and we're done. I approve. Very cool. Very, very cool. Oh, yeah, that's a good point, man. It brings up, man, that Tats has the same voice. I cannot believe he's 23 here. I think Tatsuro sounds eternally 35. Like, mature, but still flexible, young voice. But, man, to think that he was doing this at 23? Doesn't sound like a 23-year-old. It's crazy. Ooh. All right, we got our Elton John ballad here. What's going on? Summer Sun. I can tell from that percussion that this is going to be a feel-good song. Is this a cover? Daddy up 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 up. Sounds familiar. No, it's not. So now checking out rateyourmusic.com, just going through what everybody is looking at as far as the seating of this album, some reviews. It's got a 3.42 out of 5. Very respectable score. Number 429 for 1976. Not bad at all, not bad at all. Come down just... Listen to that voice, man. So much energy. Yeah, this is good. This is another example of a song I normally would not be into, but it's done so well, and I love his voice. I just get sucked in. So good. All right, let's see some of these reviews here. Yeah, that's not the best review. The story of how it came to be might not be his most brightest, varied, or polished projects, but it's a landmark in his career, important stepping stone, passion about his music, pushing forward. This is just telling the story. It's a very sweet, passionate, lively, and welcoming experience. Certainly worth a try for anyone looking for a colorful album. 7 out of 10. I'd go... It's hard. 7 out of 10. That's probably fair. Just because out of all the stuff for Tatsuro, it gets so much better. But it's still a good album, man. Basing it on Tatsuro, I give it a 7. Basing it just in everything else in the world, no lower than an 8. Yeah, pretty much everybody mentions the idea that it's cool to have these two different sides, East Coast, West Coast, fusing that together. Yeah. Oh, Manny, I did do Nobucaine 2 weeks ago. Now, on that topic, don't kill me. Because when I did that album, I saw one review on there already that somebody said, "You didn't do this album justice." And what I was talking about, the thing I could not get over was the mixing. The mixing of that album, there was so much percussion. For me personally, it was just giving me a cluster headache. And I love Nobu Saito. I love Nobu Saito. But the fact that it was 8 percussionists was just like, it was a lot. But certain songs are awesome. But that music, Nobucaine, is the kind of music you got to be in the mood for, man. It's not passive listening music. It's very active listening music. I don't know what time we started using English lyrics. Yeah. Dude, the Nobucaine is absolutely all-star super band. What is this? I hear female voices. I don't see. Man, Tatsuro knows how to end a song with a cappella. I'm not gonna go in and do the ending of Ride on Time because the last time I did that immediately got my video taken out. But go listen to the ending of the album version of Ride on Time that ends with the acapella. This boy knows how to end a song with an acapella, man. He's a good arranger, good arranger. And what's cool about this? He started the voices all the way back here, and then starts pulling all the instruments out, and it just leaves the voices so we can enjoy the harmonies of the voices. Get out of here, percussion. You listened. I think we get something new too. No, I think the ending was cool though. Yep, you want to end on beat 1? Too bad. We're ending on the end of 4. Tatsuro. All right, 1976, Circus Town. First time coming to America. Sounds like he had a little bit of the good, a little bit of the bad, but a lot of the funky. It was a pretty cool album. Very, very cool to listen to the different sounds of the East Coast versus the West Coast. So for me personally, if I had to put a button on what is the difference between these two sounds, I would say the East Coast sound is a much more refined production sound. What do I mean by that? It's more homogeneous with other very popular pieces of media at the time. Movie music, television music, pop music, all of that stuff coming out of there. I mean, these guys are working with the CBS, the late night show. This is Saturday Night Live. Really high production, lots of money going into this, this entertainment zone. And with that, since they're putting so much money into it, not only do they want excellent musicians, they want something that they can look to say, sound like this. And that's what we were hearing there with those really good balanced, like those studio strings. I love those studio strings in the first half. The drums and bass were mixed differently. Bass was a little bit more prevalent. Drums are a little bit more in the background. Once we go over to LA, boom, drums were way in the foreground, much sharper. When I say sharper, that means more treble, it's less rounded out. Rounded out means there's more bass, or you roll off the high end. No. We want to hear all those drums on the West Coast stuff. And it was more doo-wop, as we heard. I'm not even sure if we had choruses, proper choruses on the first side. But this second side absolutely had it. So if we're going to go through and do our, what is this? Do I still have this up here somewhere? Maybe I don't. I used to have the old, maybe it's over here. Yeah. Boom. The old album review criteria chart going through here. So, composition arrangement, Tatsuro, I really got to give them full points, man. Even though some of the songs are, not mind-blowingly amazing, they're all solid. And just knowing the story of how he went into this, and he was trying to arrange for people on the fly that he had never met before. 2 thumbs up. Really, really, really good job. Then that next big chunk underneath it is production, 25%. Or maybe it's 20%, whatever that is. I'm going to give it 9 out of 10 from, gotta give it 10 out of 10. Gotta give it full points. I was trying to take a point off for the LA side because it's like, I just don't like that sound. But that's my problem. It was executed perfectly. They really captured those 2 different sounds. And to kind of give more point to that LA sound, it sounds, to me, that was what sounded more like Chicago. We were getting more, Doobie Brothers, literally the band Chicago, just that kind of, I don't know, new, at the time, 70s rock and roll kind of stuff. Okay, tone. East Coast sounded great. West Coast, I just didn't like some of those tones, man. So for my personal opinion, first side, fantastic. Second side, it's okay, But just like we heard with Tatsuro's problem saying the guitarists and the bass players were sucking it up. I didn't think any of that sucked at all. But I would love to hear what he was talking about if they had like demo tracks of this guitar and bass that wasn't working for his music. Lyrics, I'll give him full points. I don't know what he's talking about, but it sounds good. His voice sounds great. Concept, genre, execution. So the idea of going to America and doing these two things, excellent concept. Execution, 10 out of 10. Nuance, full points. At the time, I'm not aware of anybody who was trying to do anything this ambitious, at least not from city pop era. Album flow vibe, flowing from side A to side B, little awkward perhaps, but each individual side's flow is excellent. 9 out of 10 on that. Nobu Saito, no, so -3 points on that. Otherwise, man, high marks, high praise. All right, thank you so much for hanging out, guys, and for being such a die-hard crew to support me and hang out and have fun and let me learn and let you guys learn. We're learning together, doing all this. Really, it is an absolute privilege for me to be able to do this with y'all. I love you guys so much. And I know I've been slacking off these last 2 or 3 weeks. You know, life gets hard sometimes. You just get tired and you just feel like, oh, I'm tired. But I'm not tired anymore. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling energized. Like I said earlier, we got the Dub Quats coming up, baby. 2024. Dub Quats. So, in order to prepare for the Dub Quats, I'm going to take a little 15-minute break here so I can use the bathroom, get myself some more coffee. But then I'm going to hop right back online. And I'm going to start doing a little pseudo office hour kind of thing. Very impromptu. And I'm going to be recording the song I did last week, Lost Love, or Love Lost. I forget which one comes first, by Junko Ohashi, because I finished that tab when I got back from visiting the old family, and I'm ready to record it. And I thought I'd show you guys the psychosis of what I do when I record these songs, so you can see what's going on, ask some questions, and then we'll do a little bit of bass playing, have some fun, all that kind of good stuff. If you had a good time, like and subscribe. Much appreciated. If you have too much money in your pocket and you're going to throw it in the trash can, don't do that. Go over to my Patreon. Subscribe. Check it out. We got $3, $5, $10 subscriptions. If you do the $10 subscription, I am uploading a whole bunch of teaching materials and extra resources. Again, lots of promises, but today I really do mean this. I promise. I'm uploading a massive amount of backing tracks. It's going to be like 50 backing tracks. I got them all done, and so now I just have to go pump through and just label them and pop them in there. As a side note, if you just want to get those backing tracks, wait a week until I get for sure until I get them all uploaded. But I have a 1-week free trial on my Patreon, so you can go on there, check it out, look at the videos. The backing tracks are all downloadable. I highly encourage you, go check it out, download all the tabs, check out of the free subscription. You get them all for free. I don't care. I still love you. I just want to help. But like I said, if you need that $10 to go in a trash can, don't do that. Give it to me. But until next time, and by next time I mean 15, 20 minutes, I hope you all have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend. And if I don't see you here in the next hour, I will see you hopefully one more time before the Dub Quats. Yeah, I'm going to stick with saying Dub Quats. Better get used to it. All right, y'all. I love you. I still don't know how to stop myself.